Hey, good morning, good evening, or good night. And I've got a cold, and Kaya's air conditioning system is changing, so we've both got sneezes today. So you should have
Right.
some fun.
Excuse us, but yes, this is going to be interesting.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Well,
Um,
hi
yeah.
everybody. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the
So
Chef Show.
we're streaming on YouTube on the Chef channel. We're streaming on Twitch over at Chef Software, and also on my channel. Mostly because I've kind of clickbaited people into try and argue their CI/CD system. I've used enough terrible ones now that they're all terrible. But if you've got some opinions, tell me what they are, and we can talk about them. And probably the long and the short of it is they're all right and they're all wrong, depending on who you are. But this is not what you want. You want an argument, so we can give you an argument.
Let the duel begin.
Put my gloves on. We're all good.
Right. Well, first, let's go over some
Yeah.
pre-flight checks. Would you mind if I do the honors?
Yeah, please do. Please do. Please do.
Awesome. So, everybody, if you are not following us on Twitter, as I always say, what are you doing? Because you'll find all of our updates and some insider knowledge from our Twitter. Um, so follow us there because you definitely want to keep abreast of what's going on in the chef world. So, also, community Slack. Like, that's where it all goes down. You can ask questions, you can find us there. We are in several channels, Devrel, Dan's in sous chef. Actually, we're both in sous chef, but
Yeah.
Dan's the sous chef guy. So
Yeah.
hit us up in general. You can DM us. You can hit us up in announcements. Like, there's so many places to like
Hackathon as well.
For people who are just like us that know the things. You can get help. You can get pointed in the right direction. And if you are a part of the hackathon or would like to be a part of the hackathon, you need to be a part of that hackathon channel in community Slack because that's where it all goes down. Also, on the same note of our hackathon, if you're not a part of it, if you're not a participant yet, go over to DevPost and sign up because the prizes are crazy. Okay, we're automating for good here, right? We're doing we're using Chef to do something good, whether it be for DevOps in general or humankind. So that's very broad. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these submissions.
Yeah, I mean, like just general, like for DevOps, you could just be like, well, I don't know. Today's topic is CI/CD. You could, well, it's like, and let's say like one of the chef products takes a really long time to do CI/CD on Windows. I don't know, pick one. Well, I'm going to reduce the CI/CD pipeline by 30%, which means everyone's builds go quicker, things that turn around much quicker, and everyone just benefits from that. That's a really small thing that you can improve on. It involves making a thing out of a chef product, so like there's making that improvement there.
Right.
That could be that's the improvement we want to see. Another thing is like taking one of our products and making something out of those products. Let's say you want to deploy an app so we've been doing the let's donate to charity every day. But I quite like the idea of every time you close a pull request, it donates a random amount of money from a pot of money somewhere. So 20p, let's donate it to like one of these 5 sponsors. That should be pretty cool. And that makes everyone's life a bit nicer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go on and head over to DevPost. We've got 20 days left. 20 days is more than enough time.
Let's see how many people. Let me just open DevPost for a second.
Ooh.
We've hit 400 people.
Oh, wow.
That's mad. So let me just drop the. Where's the DevPost? So if you are, so our hackathon on DevPost, go to that link, and I'll drop the link in the chats for you all. If I can copy and paste correctly.
Go there.
Go there.
Sign up. 15 grand to the first prize or the first place winner. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we should get something for like telling people about it. Like, break us off, please.
I mean, at this point, it might just pay for people's electric bill in the UK over winter, and just maybe. Our electric bills are going mad. Yeah, they've got some gas crisis in the UK. It's all our own fault.
Oh no.
But yeah, we've got a gas crisis in the UK, so our energy bills are about to double. Which is mad. In fact,
that is mad.
China have a very similar problem for very similar reasons. In fact, the gas prices are going crazy right now. So yeah, UK generation of electric's not going exactly where it is. So prices are skyrocketing. So if you need 15 grand just to pay for the electric bill over winter, sign up now.
Oh no, that's terrible. But still, yeah, at least it would be a help. Yeah. I mean, and then you look, second prize gets 10 grand, third prize is 5, and the honorable mentions are like some pretty awesome prizes as well. It's PS5s for best implementation.
Yeah.
And iPad. Oh, so that's 4 people. Wait, is that 4? Yeah, 4. And then 2. Yeah. And then iPad Pros for most promising idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely get over to DevPost and sign up.
And the first 1,000 people who sign up and sort of just enter the competition at all, you get a submit a swag pack. So at the minute, everyone is getting one because we're under 1,000.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we never expected to hit 4,000. I never expected to hit 400. So just get on that.
Yeah,
get on the gravy train.
I mean, and Dan, you're a judge, so like, imagine you're gonna have to look at all of those cool projects. It's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah. Let me just paste today's article so that people can read it whilst we're chatting a bit longer. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what people have done with Chef Software, or the little improvements that you see all over the place.
Right.
It kind of goes hand in hand with Hacktoberfest. So let me just go and drop this in the channel as well. So you should see Hacktoberfest, which is a kind of complimentary thing as well. It's not run by us, but we are participating. I believe sous chefs are participating. So Chef, if you submit pull requests there, get counted against your Hacktoberfest. All of the sous chefs repositories are also participating. So documentation changes, little bug fixes all over the place. These kind of things, they're all valid fixes for Hacktoberfest. They're really complimentary. Hacktoberfest has T-shirts or trees as prizes, I guess. But the idea of that is to try and invigorate the open source community during October. Otherwise, it is cold hard cash. I mean, who doesn't like that? So
cold hard cash, yeah.
Yeah.
Do not pass go. Definitely collect 200 cold hard cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who have we got online today? Who can who is feeling the need to troll us today?
Right. This is exciting. We've got people watching. Hi, people in virtual land. Thanks for watching.
Who's online right now? Let me see. Let me just jump over to whatever. It's fine.
Ooh,
so I guess the first thing in order, we've done our pre-flight checks. We're all good. We are gonna battle it out with our best CI/CD systems. So I've primarily used Circle CI. That was my favorite for a very long time. And then GitHub Actions came along, and it's just been getting it better and better and better. Hey, good morning, QBRD.
RP, hi QBRD.
You just reminded me. Did I have taken it off?
Are you emote only? Right. Are you
emote only? I don't think he is. Let me just. There we go. It's not emote only. We're all good. I didn't leave it on emote only again. Let me just get rid of our dev post a second. So today we're talking about CI/CD systems and how I really freaking hate Jenkins. I mean, it's an obvious question. Like, if you had Jenkins as your CI/CD pipeline, and you could replace it with anything you liked, what would it be? And that's my thing. So I've
So wait.
So I've personally used and maintained a shed ton of Jenkins instances. They're always slow. They always have like a very particular thing they do. And the one project I was on, it cost more than the production instance. So testing the product and doing CI/CD on well, it wasn't CD actually. It was just continuous integration. There was no deployment because reasons. Building this product took well over an hour to 2 hours, including the integration tests. But we would spin up new AWS machines, and we would use Spot instances, and we reduced the cost of it from about $3,000 a month down to about $2,000. So the cost of this product was ridiculous before it hit production. Production didn't cost anywhere near as anything else before it. It's mad. So they've recently switched to. Let me just check. Actually, I'm pretty sure they've switched to GitHub Actions. Probably because I've trolled them enough these days. But like, you can do it all with GitHub Actions. So usually, what I hear is I can only use Jenkins because of plugin A, plugins B, and Hans Kruger. You can get out of here. If you need all the plugins, fine. But do you really need those plugins? Because like, how much money do you waste just maintaining Jenkins instances, and how much money do you use spinning up AWS instances and that kind of stuff, maintaining all of that infrastructure just to do CI/CD? Could you go for a SaaS product? I usually say GitHub Actions or Circle CI, depending on which flavor you like. Mostly it's like some sort of YAML based section, and that's interesting in itself, where like the whole world is going towards YAML based configuration because I haven't got enough needles in my eyes already. So like, yeah, I love a bit of YAML, but like, the whole world is turning to YAML because of Kubernetes.
Right.
But you're a GitLab person, aren't you?
Yes, I like GitLab. So here's the thing. I will caveat this with the fact that I have never used GitHub Actions in like a real way. So
okay.
I'm very familiar with GitHub, but the reason that we chose GitLab for holding our repositories is because we could do CI/CD easily, like in that same, without having to switch or move any place. And I don't remember GitHub Actions being a thing when we made the decision. So
the reason being new actually, and they've just been like they've been I guess because everything is everything. If you're using GitLab, then you use GitLab CI because they're so integrated, and it just works. You can bring your own. Yeah, you usually host your own GitLab as well, so you've gone to the effort of hosting your own GitLab anyway.
Right.
So why not?
Exactly. Why not? Like, it's just like it's all packaged pretty easily, and it's kind of like, and listen, everybody that has watched us for any period of time knows that like DevOps isn't my specialty. It hasn't been. I'm working on it, but it's kind of a situation where if it comes out of the box and it works and it is easy, that's why I chose it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the same reason. So we were using Circle CI at Sous for I don't know how long now. It's been a while. They were using it for about 2 or 3 years. We got off Travis CI because Travis CI became a dumpster fire really quickly overnight.
Okay.
So we're like, all right, this is a dumpster fire. Let's leave. And then we went to Circle CI. But when we went to Circle CI, we lost this thing called a matrix. Which is if I've got like if you're using Test Kitchen, you want to test a test suite here. So let's say your default test suite, and you want to test that against multiple platforms. What you want to do with the matrix is say option A, and then let's say, well, if you take the default suite, which is 1, and then A, B, C, D, E, F. So you go platform A, platform B, platform C, and then you mix all those all together, and then you get 1A, 1B, 1C, 1C. And so it's a really nice way of deduplicating the same bit of code multiple times in YAML.
Yeah.
So let me demonstrate this with maybe Java, because I always open up Java because I do delivery, workflows, and CI, I reckon, probably. So this is GitHub Actions. So we've got Matrix, and then we've got an OS, and then we've got suites. There are a lot of suites. Java's nasty to. In fact, this is just gnarly. This is like the easiest. So for every one of these combinations, you check out some code, you install Chef, then you run Test Kitchen against it.
Right.
If this wasn't here and you saw our the non-matrix version of this is my brain hurts, like remembering it. You just like copy and paste 15 times and hopefully you get it right.
Wow, not copy pasta.
It's a lot of copy pasta, yeah. Oh, there we go. Right, so you've got some engaged team city. I'm not going to slur it right now because I'm online, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you want a GUI and a horrible infra's code, use Team City. If you want the same but don't have budget, use Jenkins. Yeah. So Team City, it's super integrated into Windows World, .NET, that kind of stuff. That's why a lot of those people would have used Team City. And if you want we go. Blue Ocean makes Jenkins pretty, but Jenkins it's kind of like putting lipstick on a pig.
It's kind of like putting lipstick on a pig.
It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
What is it? The plugins?
Yeah. So here we go. It's another bunch of plugins. It's just another I got the Jenkins core problem still. So you've got a nicer UI, but you've still got the core of Jenkins problems. So things like you're using Jenkins DSL or Groovy or whatever kind of language you're using in inline there. So yeah, you kind of get to use the same Jenkins inline language, but I think that language is super ugly. And yeah.
Kiwi says yeah.
It's everything but I mean, this is a terrible argument for still using it now, which is Jenkins was amazing when there were no alternatives. Turns out there are no alternatives. There are. Let me just get that. There are tons of alternatives. Let me just go and throw the chat overlay up here because.
Throw it over there.
I'm just gonna
I'm happy that we're having this conversation.
This is great, yeah, and this is right. Come on, chat. Let me just throw this up there. Yeah, so because reasons, the Jenkins plugins they're right. Xarima's right. It really enables you to get admin super easy, because it's poorly maintained. There's security problems all over the place, and Jenkins is an open source product, which means that there's a big plugin community, and that you might see that's a good thing. But if you've ever tried to maintain Jenkins plugins or just update them on a regular basis, you just see weekly updates of I've just got a security bug. Oh, another security bug. And you're like, really?
Wow.
So
wait. Yeah. Oh, okay. So basically, the QBRD, you hacking into, or no? Oh, are you implying that Zarema?
Yeah, so Zarema and QBRD are basically they're both telling us, and there are some nasty security bugs in Jenkins. There are ways in Jenkins. Oh yeah, there was a way of, so if you use environment variables and you use them for secrets management, you could leak them between jobs very, very easily. So if someone malicious came by and could steal your credentials very easily,
oh wow! See that's terrible.
That's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. I mean, that's why I would always use GitHub.
And there's no. What about the API? So Jenkins does that not have a REST API?
Yeah, there is. Well, it's good. There is an API, but I am not a fan of it.
Mm.
So good API documentation, and I'm going to use GitHub Actions as a So yeah, Hans is right there. Like, there's pretty much no isolation of Jenkins workers. There's so much. There's multi-tenancy is extremely challenging. So if you use it for multiple projects, and you don't want to be like, oh, this is an unsecure project and it's a public project, having it on the same build and Jenkins instance as a secure project, super bad idea. Don't do that.
Oh wow.
So trusted and untrusted zones, you should just distrust the entire thing. This is and I think that's the core of like CI/CD and CI systems are really hard to build because multi-tenancy is a thing that you have to code for. Isolation is a thing you really need. Spitting out security vulnerabilities and making sure that things don't leak between the instances is really, really hard.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. So there's no isolation of GitLab workers. If you're using a shell executor, jobs can totally interfere with each other. That is nasty. I'm hoping that's a thing they fixed, but then again, maybe not. GitHub have a build your own, bring your own workers thing, as do Circle CI now. So I've run GitHub self-hosted runners, they're called, and they've now got an ephemeral worker, which is super, super nice. And if you run this on Kubernetes, which is the way I've done it before, you can get them. You could have them in auto-scaling group. Again, pretty handy if you have a sudden influx of jobs. So you don't have like a Kubernetes cluster running and you're always running like 50 pods, for example, just to wait for jobs to come in. You can run five pods and then auto-scale up to 50 or whatever you need. You can burst up to 50. Which is really helpful for capacity planning and that kind of stuff, or really not helpful for capacity planning, probably. But the ephemeral workers, at the end of the job, they kill the Docker container. So as it's running on Kubernetes, it's all running on Docker, so you're all good. There's much more isolation with those workers. And now they're ephemeral, and bless you.
Thanks.
Your air conditioning is doing a number on you today.
It's terrible.
It's mad. I love the isolation. The isolation from GitHub runners has been quite sensible and surprisingly good. But ephemeral workers for me are the way forward because you don't have crap left around. One of the things that I usually see with Jenkins is first thing you do is clean the workspace. You're like, why is there anything in your workspace already? Like, stop doing this. This is nasty. And the thing is, usually it's you'll have a Jenkins worker spun up, and it will download the images and sort of pre-cache things and warm itself up before it actually gets ready to go and do stuff. Well, that's great, but actually auto-scaling as a result is really slow. You're like, ugh. Cruise control. So we've got some cruise control suggestions in the chat, which is kind of cool. I think.
Is it really?
So cruise control was it cruise?
If we really want
Jenkins
terrible
open source, right?
Tools.
I think cruise. Just check. Someone correct me that if cruise control was Jenkins. But that's. I think I might have died a little bit inside there. That's some nasty stuff.
No.
Is it still like?
I've never heard of that.
I have. Oh, it's a ThoughtWorks product. So without dissing anybody, that explains a lot to me. Yeah, so ThoughtWorks have cruise control can't still be a thing. I mean, the website still exists, but I mean the UI is.
Yeah, the UI. I just can tell by the UI.
That's
like I wouldn't use it.
OpsWorks. So AWS OpsWorks from AWS. Yeah, so OpsWorks from AWS is a thing that I've used. I have nothing polite to say about it. I stop there, I guess.
That's it. Like your mom said, you don't have anything nice to say, Dan.
God, I'm done. I'm done about it. yeah, I think so. ThoughtWorks tend to. So they built. Oh, it wasn't cruise control. It was. Hans Kruger might have the it was a ThoughtWorks product. Oh, what's it called? And it had a really confusing API. It was like weirdly nested API calls. GoCD, thank you. GoCD. So it's now open source. In fact, I wonder if I can find it. It's open. GoCD. So they've open sourced it because they no longer want to maintain it. However, it was a really interesting product. I never really got the benefits of it. We ended up using TeamCity or Octopus Deploy. In fact, that was because of deploying lots of .NET apps, and Octopus just really worked for us there. Kitchen CI, terrible. Oh, Kitchen CI.
Oh.
What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. Kitchen CI. Oh. What was it? Can't remember what it was now. Kitchen CI. No, it's gone from me. Like, I guess the fact that we've come out with like 10 CI/CD systems already, we're like, and you can pick a fault with any of them. I could probably pick a fault with GitHub Actions today, but knowing GitHub Actions, they'll probably fix it in a month because there's so many people using it, and like GitLab, like there's so many people using GitLab, and there's so much. Oh yeah, you are trolling me. Is Hans Kruger trolling me? Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah, because he sure was throwing shade at Habitat earlier. I saw that. Yeah. I peeped it.
I was like, is it trolling me? And I mean, like, the safe option is yes, he is trolling me, but I can never tell. But yeah, Kitchen CI used to be called Test Kitchen used to be called Kitchen CI, but yeah, I actually like it's one of my for lifecycle management. It's my thing for spinning down machines. The fact, I mean, we've been online for 27 minutes, half an hour now, and we've probably come through at least 10 CI/CD tools. It is like there is no one size fits all, and as the article mentions, is like you can there are cost benefits of each of these. There's some really big gotchas with using GitHub self-hosted runners. GitHub Actions. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna pick this comment out. Specifically, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. The problem with GitHub Actions is JavaScript is the main language of choice for actions. So that's if you're writing reusable bits of code, JavaScript is the way to do that. It's not really a good scripting language. So if you're talking about scripting languages, you'll usually be using like Ruby or Python or Bash or something like that. A much more scripty kind of language. TypeScript and JavaScript are not those things.
I understand.
Even though they've got the word script in them, then that's it. Really, for me and probably Zoroma as well, it's really hard to get. Like ops people tend to know things other than JavaScript because it's usually a dev language. Usually a dev language.
I was gonna say when you say it, you use JavaScript with GitHub Actions. That was actually kind of appealing to me because it's like,
yeah,
I could actually like read that.
But I mean,
even though the scripting languages that I've seen thus far and along this journey, along my DevOps journey, they're pretty easy to pick up.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point, really. Like if you pick anything like Ruby and Python and Bash and PowerShell, they usually have a low barrier to entry, and then it gets there's some complicated stuff in there somewhere. Whereas if you want to use JavaScript in the right way, and it's very different. It's a different area. Like they've got a different area of operating concern. There's some benefits to using it, obviously, because GitHub Actions are they're wildly popular. But it's a bit of a it's a bit of a tall ask. I think it's quite disconnected. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say there, but maybe everyone's got the gist. The left pad incidents. Yeah, and so I think there's lots of organizations, lots of communities that have the left pad incident. I know, so as from a chef community, we had a left pad incident at some point where lots of cookbooks relied on a particular cookbook 3 years ago. Yeah, thank you, Chef Sugar. And the person unpublished it, and they have the right to unpublish things because they're a community member. It's their code being used. Yes, I'll let you escape. Let Claire escape whilst I continue ranting. I'll just hide her a second. People have the right to unpublish their content. It's their content at the end of the day. And then that's where the whole world be like, oh, I was using that. Can I have it? No. And left pad was used all over the place in npm, and it's just yeah. I think we digress slightly. Yes, yeah, some things that JavaScript are used for that are maybe not the best things. But so I've been writing in TypeScript a little bit. One of my side projects, one of the apps on GitHub actually, and TypeScript's been fun to use in some other places. Yeah, TypeScript is neat, but you can tell it's an add-on to JavaScript. It's not like Go or any of the static type languages, but the TypeScript plus, and I wish there was more examples of using TypeScript with GitHub bots. GitHub, what's it called? What's it called? Just where is it? Probot is the thing I'm trying to say. So Probots are like a GitHub framework for building bots around GitHub Actions or GitHub in general, where you can hook off GitHub events. And that for me is like a really powerful ecosystem. So you have GitHub Actions that do a certain thing, and then you may have like an external app that checks things. So GitHub Actions could get changed, and let's pull Kaya back in. Like GitHub Actions serve a particular purpose, and then Probot apps or apps in general for GitHub serve a different purpose. Like one of them is like Probot apps or apps, GitHub apps in general can't be changed by users. That's super, super cool. So if you want to do some security scanning, I say like SonarQube is an app for GitHub. You see, that just plugs into the system there. That's what I quite like is that model there. And the other thing about GitHub apps is you can have paid for subscriptions, which for me is welcome back. Snuck back in.
Thanks. I'm back and alive again.
Yeah, I like the paid for model of like if you're using this app in a private repo, you can pay for it. I think that's a nice way of supporting people who write the code. And that's a way of like, if people are going to write code, they're going to need to make money from it at some point. So paying for like, they need to like put food on the table. So
exactly, like yes, I agree. I mean, look, I'm all for open source and free code, free as in not beer though, free as in liberty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we gotta put food on the table. Folks expect everything to be free. This is not easy work. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So as we've got a bunch of people on stream still, I think got tick.
Oh yeah, let's do the game.
Let me just create a room. Let me just rooms. New room.
So what was the consensus? Did we agree that GitLab was the best? Or
never. I mean, I think the what was the consensus, everybody?
Nope.
There was no consensus. I think that's okay. Right, so let me just invite you all. Click that link. Yeah, you're right. GitLab is great until it isn't. Jason or Zarama, Sharima. No.
Team City.
Team City. I mean, you can like Team City.
Team City because .NET background, but like not really. Like I didn't actually have a lot of experience with Team City. I've obviously had a lot of code to run through the CI/CD in Team City, but that's about it.
Yeah, just let me throw this in the. Let me just. There we go. I might have to. Yeah, we go. Trolley's back on. Beans is on. QBRD. Cool guy's on. I'm hoping it's not the cool guy. He's a Twitch streamer. It's fine. So we've got 4 people.
In Slack? Or unless did you already put it in Slack?
I put it in our internal Slack as well. Yeah.
Yay, Jason.
Ooh. So we are. Let me just get rid of the captions. Our chat a second. Wow. Let's make it a bit bigger. Right. Let's give people. Oh, there we go. Maybe I should have made it bigger.
Oh, here we
this
go again. Here we go. Hold on.
Let's start. Let's see if I can draw this. Trolling, you're very close.
Oh, it's not even letting me play.
Whoa. So, God, trolling, how close are you? How do I draw this? No, not quite. But the roll thing is right.
I couldn't join
Oop.
this one. It's through the doggone ad.
Let me. So I'll finish this one, and then I'll increase the number of people.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Beans hit it. Lovely. Oh, come on.
Wait, what just happened?
Paper towels. Right. I'm gonna quit that one. Yes, leave the game. And then I'm gonna. What happened there? New room. A object room. I'm gonna increase the maximum players because it turns out, actually also gonna reduce the number of points. New room. 5 friends. Let's fix that link again. So anyone's on there. Lovely. Hi everybody. Sorry about that. I always put it always limited to like 6 people, and then turns out we've got more people on the stream today. Okay. Hey, Mandy's on. Lovely. Let's fix this. Oh, high res 90. Who's high res 90? Dude, how you doing? So if anyone hasn't seen Mandy before, she is streaming over on. Mandy, have you got your Twitch stream? Kick it around. It is Pager Duty community.
Mandy, hi. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you switched page duty now. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, you should join her over there. She usually starts streaming when I finish work, so that's handy. Is everybody online? Let's do this. What is that second one? Okay, I can do this probably. And then how do I draw this?
Wait, what's the topic?
Objects. Sorry, I should have said that.
Oh.
I think only Kai is going to get this one.
Oh wow.
Oh, you're close, Kai. You are actually really close. Beans hit it. Who is Beans? I need to know who Beans is. Oh, actually, I know who Beans is. I know who Beans is. Hey, Beans. Ah, you're so close. So it's not mascara. It's not a pen. Although you're pretty close to pen. How do I move this thing? Can I? Yes.
Okay.
It was eye pencil. I would never call it an eye pencil. I would call it a mascara, like
yeah.
Yeah.
I would never call it an eye pencil either, but okay.
Yeah, who the hell calls it an eye pencil?
No clue.
Hang on, who's?
What? Oh, oops.
I love it. Everyone was like, What is this? What is this?" And then like the shape morphs out of this mess. Hang on, how QBRD? How are you getting trident off that?
Trident.
That's a very fancy trident.
Cat.
Flag. There we go. Trapper keeper.
I need a hint.
Yeah, can I get a hint? Folder.
That is not like a folder.
That's a ring binder to me. But
right.
Good God.
Ooh.
Oh my God, we're all wrong. Yeah. Thank you.
What the heck is it called?
That was pretty good. Yeah. You've got this.
Hey.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful. I mean, this is much better than a CI/CD system fight.
Right?
Mostly, it just turns into trolling Jenkins. Although this time it didn't turn into trolling Jenkins.
That's true. We're just trolling everybody else that compares themselves to Jenkins.
Yeah, you're like, this is not better. Hang on, what? Hang on, what? You're pointing at the squiggly thing to the right. I have no idea. Cat. Oh, what is it? A crowbar. Wow, I'm impressed with the people who got that then.
Yeah, right?
This drawing, by the way. It might be my favorite drawing of the day. I'm actually screenshotting that because I'm keeping that. It's beautiful. Oh, it's 2 words. Oh, quite clearly, trapper keeper.
Give us a letter.
Can we get another hint? It's more than that. No. Don't know. No. No.
That didn't help any.
What was it? Okay, throw it in the chat. Any of the chats. Oh, Kaya. Here we go.
This one's easy.
Gonna. I'm gonna choose this again. So there we go. And then. Can I draw like this?
Right?
And then let's do.
Oh.
But it's I've drawn the wrong thing, but you're right. Damn it, I don't know. Hang on. Oh, the irony. So we were talking about GitHub Actions today, and GitHub Actions have currently got a
L.
lip gloss.
Oh.
I got distracted by the fact that GitHub Actions is down.
It's down. Oh,
the irony.
Everybody, the debate has been settled.
Git Operations is experiencing degraded performance, so it's not completely down, but it, I guess, it's not having a good time. God, trolling might win today.
Jason, this is our time. Like this is GitLab's time to shine. Who got it? What?
Oh my god, what?
I don't see anything. So
I was literally typing the word Stoven.
I was not. I would not have gotten that. Well, I didn't get it.
Come on.
What?
Yeah, I can bet you my terrible spelling. What's the end of your shoe called?
Steel. Oh, yeah. What is it?
Yeah, you said steal something. Oh, trolling.
Was it toe? It was a toe cap. What's a toe cap? I've never heard of a toe cap before.
If you work in construction, you might have a steel toe cap.
Oh.
Hey, we got a bunch of new people on the stream. How you all doing? I'm leaving. So we're gonna do the getting started with Chef Infra. We'll take 5 minutes, a second. So is anyone in the audience? Oh, it's a soldier helmet. Right, so the helmet we didn't get was a soldier helmet. Apparently. Yeah, so let me just go over the community Slack a second and see if there's anybody in the hackathon room. You've got a +1 from Jason Barnett. Or Barnett.
You see, I responded my favorite emoji. That's all I was saying. Jason is down right now.
I don't know what this. So, what is Milky Amelia?
Milky Amelia, are you Team GitLab too? And yes, I'm cool.
Yeah, Claire is definitely cool.
What kind of question is that?
I wonder if that might be on my channel.
Oh, cool. You're a team. Well, hi, Milky Amelia. We won't curse as much. Oh, Zarema. Oh, Zarema coming with the shade tree.
That was a bad day for GitLab. That was a bad day.
Yeah.
Always test your backups. Where is
oh my god, and they wrote that in the postmortem, like we thought that we had a backup, but we didn't for real.
Right, like if you haven't tested your backups, they don't exist.
Exactly.
Oh, I did when I first started doing IT support stuff. They were like doing backups every day. We'd do like a weekly backup, but then do diffs for the rest of the week. And then turns out all the diffs were broken, so we just had one backup a week. So it's all right. We would just lose like £50,000. Net backup was never called net restore for a reason. Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, right.
Well, let me just. I've closed the window down now. I didn't mean to close this down. So how do we get started with Chef Infra? The easiest place to start is by downloading Workstation. So let me just open a fresh new window and let's say Chef Workstation. So if you've been using Chef for a really long time, you might come across Chef DK. You want to use Chef Workstation. This is one of my pet peeves at the moment, is trying to get people onto Workstation and onto Chef DK. So if you type in Chef DK, because I've been using Chef for ages, Chef DK does exist still. It's a thing. You don't want to be using this thing. It redirects to places. In fact, it doesn't really work at the moment. So what you really want is Chef Workstation. All tools you need in it. So if you're using Habitat, if you're using Inspec, if you're using Chef Infra, and then all the related tools around it, start here. So I've got Chef Workstation. If you're using Homebrew, you can totally, if you're using macOS, you can totally do this to download it straight from the site. I personally use Homebrew because then I get, every time I use Brew Update, it updates the Workstation package for me. I really like that. There's continuous improvements in that. In this, we've got like these version numbers, these bug numbers here, so it's all good. Let me see what else I can show you. Let me just bring up my command line for a second. So temp, bigger, do a recheck. So once you've done a brew install, let's say brew install Chef Workstation. I can't type anymore apparently because it's cable in the way. Let's pretend we've done this. Go away. So let's pretend like we've installed Workstation via Homebrew. Also, I'm not going to do that because it would actually cane my bandwidth right now, and it's having a bad time right now. By the looks of it. So let's say you want to write your first cookbook. You want to do a chef generate cookbook, and then we're going to call it Java wrapper for now, just because that's the last thing I typed in, and that'll create you a cookbook from scratch with the latest and greatest best practices. So what does the latest and greatest thing equate to? into Java wrapper. I don't know why this is here. So get a delivery folder, a Git folder. So we initialize Git. Usually get some VS Code plugins. So if I do ls.vscode, there's an extensions which have a suggested set of extensions. So VS Code has a Chef extension which gives us a bunch of snippets. So if you're creating a cookbook and you want to have the built-in Chef resources, there's a bunch of snippets that include those resources, which is super, super cool. Then we've got a changelog, our licenses, and our policy file. If you haven't used policy files before, there's a couple of webinars we've just released about policy files. Totally recommend going reading those. Let me just see if I can find the webinar on. Pretty sure the policy file webinar was yesterday.
It was yesterday?
I think it was pretty. Let me see if I can find it. I'll find that in a bit. There's a nice webinar that one of my colleagues, John, wrote recently on policy files. But if you use Burks files or a package dependency system before, this is the way to go with Chef. It will create if you've got a cookbook that requires other cookbooks. You can create a lock file that says you can only do certain things in this order, and it does all its computation before. So if you don't go and run Chef Infra, you've done the computation. You don't have to do that at runtime, which is nice. It makes everything a bit quicker. Chef ignore, we can ignore for now. And then our kitchen YAML, this is how we get test kitchen configured. And then our metadata, so cat metadata. This is how we would describe our cookbook. So our name, our maintainer email. If you've used it, if you've seen any of the sous chef cookbooks, so it's going to cat on Java data. This is an example one from the Java cookbook. This gives us our maintainer, and the important stuff really is our Chef version that we support, and then the platforms we support. You beaut. Thank you, Kaya. Yes, so some improvements. I'm just throw this in the chat. Thank you, Kaya, for finding that. That's exactly what I was trying to find. I'll come back to that in a second. But our Chef version is the version of Chef we support. These are the platforms we support, and these are the cookbooks we depend upon. Hence, it depends. We depend on the line cookbook in Java for doing something really important that I can't remember, but it's fine, not a problem. Going back to the policy file, so if I cat my policy file, we've got the name of the cookbook we're running. The default source is where we're going to find cookbooks. Supermarket is our default place. We suggest if you're using it for the hackathon, I recommend reusing as many cookbooks from the supermarket as possible. And I hear you say, what the hell is the supermarket then? So supermarket.chef.io is the place you want to go for all your cookbooks. A bunch of pre-written content on there. Big disclaimer, sous chefs as an big open source community with lots of contributors own probably the majority of the maintained cookbooks these days. But as a result, they're really nice and high quality. Also, if they're not nice and high quality and there's some bugs, feel free to submit some pull requests and fix those things. I just realized that you probably can't see the bottom of my screen. So let's fix that a second. Give it my participant name. So that gives you all that. That gives all that stuff there. So our name, our default source, our run list. This tells us tells the Chef client what to run, and then we can specify other things like our cookbook as well. So I'm actually going to go in here, and I'm going to suggest you don't do that last line. You just run this instead, which is the same thing. But this, if you run If you put the keyword metadata in there, it does a really nice thing, and it looks at the metadata for dependencies. So it also needs to look in the current directory for the current cookbook, which is very, very nice. So fine, we've got all the kind of gump around it, like your changelog, your license, your policy file, and your metadata. But I haven't written anything yet. So let me just go into, let's say you want to write a recipe, and those recipes are our secret sauce, really. That was not a pun, I'm really sorry. So we've got recipes and default. So our default recipe is the default place that we get to run things. So if I cat into recipes default here, and I'll bring up my own cookbook, my own pre-written cookbook in a second, to do with Raspberry Pis, and that'll give you an example of like the resources we can use in Chef. And there's a whole host of extra resources that you might want to see. So let's go to recipes default, and then that we can then call that default recipe. So if I jump over to where is it? Repos. And so this is a cookbook I personally use. Change logs and policy files and all this kind of good stuff here. Where we want to look right now is the recipes. So through cat recipes, and I open up my default recipe. I tend to use my default recipe as a place to, these are the default things I'm going to do, and then split it out to include other recipes. So you can sort of compartmentalize your logic. So I'm going to call the system recipe here. So what does the system recipe do? Again, the recipes. I cannot type today. Underscore system RB. And what this does is install the NFS common package, and then there's the reboot block here, and there's an action which does nothing. What this means is we're going to put a placeholder here so that we can then look optionally do it later on. This is the best way of using the reboot action because it's a little bit hard to guard, and guards mean do this action unless something else happens. So here's a good guard. Here's a good example of a guard. So we put a file on disk, not if file.read lines the boot file not if the boot file contains the C group memory, because that's what I'm adding to this line here. So I grab the file and I update the content of the file to contain this, and I make sure that these two owners are like this. Now the file resource, the Chef file resource is built into Chef Core, as is reboot and package. Append if no line is not built into Chef. That is built into the line cookbook. So here you see the line cookbook is depended on, and how we use that. So we depend on the line cookbook, and it brings us in other libraries to use, and then we can say, and then we can then use that method or that property there to say append if no line, reduce the GP memory, and then this kind of stuff here. Now, if we do reduce the GPU memory and we change the boot config, obviously, I say, not obviously, we add this line to the cookbook, and then we request a reboot from the reboot resource. So what this does is we take the reboot resource and we do this action to it. There we go. So is there anything else I can probably say about recipes and recipes, or anything chef related that anyone wants to know? It's kind of like a whirlwind tour. There is one other thing that's probably quite helpful to know, is chef resources.
Let's see.
All info resources. So docs.chef.io/chef resources. You're trying to build up your cookbook, and you want to say, I don't want to have to go write my own custom resources. I don't have to go write all this code. Can I use existing stuff? So the first place to look is in Chef Core. So Chef core resources are documented at docs.chef.io/resources, and there are a bunch of really, really nice reusable places, reusable resources there. They've really improved over the last few years. So let's see. I'll give you a link to all of the Chef info resources. So at repositories. So if you're doing anything with the repositories, adding and removing those things, maintaining those things. Archive files are quite a new thing, which is quite nice. I really like archive file. Hence where you might say, what does archive file do? It maintains file archives for you, unzips them, and this kind of stuff. Well, kind of. Under the hood, it uses libarchive if you're interested. If the list of things you want to do is, if you want what you want to do is not here, in this kind of a big list of resources that are built into Chef, then the second place you want to go is supermarket. Just reshare my screen a second. So great. Well, I'm looking at the supermarket and I want to do something with pick a program for me, Postgres or someone pick a program for me that they're currently using that they might think is like Vault. Let me just see. HashiCorp Vault. Maybe. Oops, I typed in the wrong place. So Vault is so the Chef Vault, Vault Docker, and I think what I want to see. There we go. Vault is duplicated in favor of HashiCorp Vault. And so what you want is, so I was actually looking for HashiCorp Vault myself, and that's how we. So what does this give us? So this is and let's just go to view source. This gives us a bunch of custom resources to use, and it's good. So how using config stores, making sure this is a way of maintaining and making HashiCorp Vault work, basically. If you know how HashiCorp Vault works, this will all make sense to you. I haven't used it in ages, so none of this makes any sense to me. But these are really good examples here. So I think that probably covers it. We've probably gone on for more than long enough now. But if you've got any more questions about Chef Infra and you want to guide us in a, hey, we've got this really interesting questions, or I've got started with Chef Infra, I'm stuck. Then always come onto the channel, come into the Hackathon channel, or here, sure. or basically ask on the Slack channels on the Chef community Slack. Just ask there. We can point you in the right direction. If you get stuck, we can unstick you really easily, probably. Point you in the right direction and get you started there.
Don't forget we have mentors as well. So like they're like, and they're specifically here to help unstick you, unblock you, and all of that jazz. So community Slack. They're in the community Slack, and the Hackathon channel.
Yeah. I think whilst that was felt like a bit of a whirlwind tour, I think we're going to leave it there because any questions, just throw them at us as per usual. As per usual, like earlier on, we were talking about CI/CD systems, a bit of banter going on there.
That was fun.
just throw them at us. But yeah, we're going to call it a day there. Thank you very, very much for joining us. That was a super, super interesting article to go through, and I always like it when people start to doesn't quite get the heckles up, but it gets people talking. I like to hear like people really don't like some CI/CD platforms. Maybe we'll do editors next week just to really, really like wind people up.
Right? Oh my God! I actually have real opinions where that's concerned. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it next Tuesday. We'll do editors next Tuesday because as you probably haven't guessed, if you haven't been on the stream very often, I am a VS Code user. I used to be an Atom user, so I was always the Atom user. and then VS Code came along, and I transitioned across because it's a really nice interaction. There's some really nice pairing tools on VS Code, but I know that certain people who use today do not like VS Code because they use Terraform a lot. And the Terraform support for VS Code is fine. It's a really hard thing to do. It's get editor plugins.
Aha.
But
okay,
for some things, it's beautiful. So like I just spend all day in writing Chef at the minute. So the Chef plugin for VS Code it works pretty nicely, and RSpec as a result. So that's all good.
Nice.
What do you use?
I'm a VS Code user.
Okay.
Yeah, we agree there.
Okay. Yeah. No. So there's one of the guys in the audience. He is a IntelliJ user. So hopefully I can wind him up enough to come in the stream and tell me how I'm not using a real IDE. I'm just using a text editor.
Oh, right.
It's not a real IDE you get out of it. It's fine. I think VS Code for me is slim enough that we can get on and do it.
I have a friend who solely uses Vim. So
yeah, likewise. Vish, one of my friends, he will use other things, but mostly he will use Vim.
Yeah, so I want to see if I can get him to join. And
if you can get him to join, I will. Because Vim is I like it. Yeah, some good stuff there. So I do all my Git committing in Vim because I have muscle memoried all of that stuff. It's all muscle memory these days. You might have seen me earlier a little ago playing with a bit of Vim. It's actually NeoVim, but that's a whole other thing to get into, which is Vim versus NeoVim. One of them is maintained very well. One of them actually has tests.
Oh wow! Well, tests.
But yeah, we'll leave that story until next week. So we'll do editors next week because I think there's some history that is some really cool stuff there.
Sweet.
But yeah, have a great day, and we'll catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.